Hello, England Rugby Analyst here. So, lots happened. England have played Ireland and beaten them well. They probably should have beaten them actually a little bit better. So we're going to look at that game, comment a little bit on Wales. Of course, they're in England's group, and that game against Italy was pretty interesting. We'll start with Wales, why not? Two horrible looking injuries, don't like that, never like that. But to key players, injury to Lee Halfpenny. Can he be replaced? Well, he can, because Liam Williams could come in and he's a good all-round footballer. He can do just as good a job in the main, but what he can't do is he's not the best goal kicker in the world, which is what Lee Halfpenny is. So can you replace the best goal kicker in the world? No, you can't. Bigger's going to be okay kicking, but that's a massive blow, isn't it? Absolutely massive blow. Lee Halfpenny looks bad. He had his knee strapped before, which kind of shows maybe there was some sort of weakness there, some sort of injury he was carrying. And then Rhys Webb is probably the harder one to replace gameplay wise, because he just makes Wales flow, and they decided that Phillips was just making the game too slow. Phillips is going to come back into the squad. Does he go and start because he's more experienced? I don't know. Or do they keep the youngster going? But massive problems. That Rhys Webb one looked really bad. Don't like the look of that one at all. Poor guy. Yeah, so I think that, is big. I mean, I will say it now, in hindsight, Wales didn't need to play that game. What were they going to gain from that game? Because I say that because I've always said they've got a small squad. 15 brilliant players plus Tipperick and Scott Williams. I think they're your 17 players that could win a World Cup if they're all fit. Plus I'd probably put Adam Jones in there as well. I mean, you just saw that at the end where Italy dominated the Welsh scrum. If Adam Jones had come on with 15-20 to go, maybe they wouldn't have that problem at the end of a big game. So I think they've slipped up there. And why do they need to play that game? Their first game's against Uruguay. That's a warm-up game, essentially. And to win the World Cup, Wales needed those 15 starting players on the pitch. Full stop. If they were a game short of practice, so what? They needed those 15 players. They don't have the luxury to replace players like other teams do. So that's, I don't think they needed to play that third game. They would have been told to, because of money-wise, the WRU would be saying these are the you need 3 games, but they shouldn't have done it. But that's hindsight, isn't it? Anyway, so that's a big blow. With England winning and looking good, I think that puts Wales down to probably favourites to actually be knocked out of the group now, unfortunately. It might not happen because they do have kind of some home advantage going on there, but that was big. That was a big weekend. Right, on to England. The starts, I want to talk about the starts. Watch my video from the last game against France where they started as badly as they could possibly start, and against Ireland was how to start. Now the key was they were both playing fast. They wanted to play fast in both games, okay, but it was the decisions what to do when. Okay, England played fast, but they played sensible options. They stuck to their pattern. They didn't try anything silly. Just case in point, crossfield kicked I talked about against France in their own half to Jack Noel in a dodgy situation. Whereas this game they went for the crossfield kick again, so same tactic, but in a different part of the pitch, in a scoring position, and you all saw what happened. Anthony Watson got a good run on Zebo and beat him to the ball. That's when you use it, and they chose a lot of good options. That being said, Ireland were really poor in the first half, loads of mistakes. I mean, uncharacteristic mistakes, really sloppy. Tommy Bowe being bounced off a tackle, one of the best wingers in the world, Lions wing. Shouldn't be happening, so they will not be happy with that. But in the main, England did loads of good stuff. England's attacking shape is, I will say, is really good. Okay, it's really good. A lot better than Wales' attacking shape, I think, at the moment. But what do they? I think their pitfall could be if they overplay the pullback. Okay, they play away, they can go with the flow, go against the flow, it's nice and creative, the scrum half can break, the fly half takes it to the line, etc, etc. It's nice to see Mike Brown coming in at first receiver and making things happen, so that's just even more cemented his place as a starting 15 instead of good. But I just think they just need to use that flat ball a little bit more, just so the pull behind's more of a surprise. In the first half, they're giving it to the first receiver or whoever's receiving the ball. They've got a flat inside and outside player and a deep pull behind option, or a guy coming around who's going to be the pull behind. And it's just getting a little obvious sometimes that it's going to be the pull behind, especially if it's someone like George Ford behind there. So I think they just need to play that flat ball inside or outside just to keep the defence a bit more honest. To be fair, they did that in the second half, so that is just a minor thing, but that's what this channel's about, isn't it? But their attacking shape looks great. Johnny May, who I said maybe moved aside for Cipriani, showed why he's in the squad for his attacking prowess. You know, I still stand by his catching technique isn't great. He's got a couple of other technical flaws, but going forward he's phenomenal. The guy is so quick. He's the quickest player on the park, maybe the quickest player in the World Cup. Absolutely rapid. So fantastic. That's good for England, isn't it? Just having a quick look across the park. Set piece. Let's talk about set piece actually. A lot better. The line out. Let's go line out. That came out as 100%, but I think a lot of them were a bit scrappy. I don't think Roundtree will be 100% happy with the line out. You've got to dominate your own set piece to win a World Cup. So I don't think they'll be quite happy with their own ball, although there were some really nice line outs there. Scrum looked better, although still not ideal. Certainly to win a World Cup it will need to be slightly better, but it's going in the right direction. Back row played really well. Morgan is the big bonus, isn't it? He was lacking a bit of fitness and he came on and he looked fit and sharp. More of an all-round 8 than Vunipola. He's going to start. Just a point on Vunipola, who came on and did better than last game, which wasn't hard to be honest. He's lost some weight. His ball carrying isn't quite as dominant. That was a point put to me by someone else. It's not my own point, but I'll take it on board. Maybe he's lost a little bit because his game was ball carrying and now he's a little bit lighter. Maybe that's not quite as good. So Morgan's going to start. Flankers did well. Wood did add that dynamism I was looking for, although not a lot of turnovers in the back row, but I think I just got to give up on that because that's not what sort of players they are. A quick word on the backs. Like I said, Johnny May was excellent. I thought Anthony Watson actually was okay, but defensively I noticed a couple of errors. He came in when he didn't have to. He just needs to trust his inside defence a bit more. Joseph is an excellent drifter, and when it's there he does need to stay on his wing. I could see that being a minor problem they need to look at. Brad Barrett did his job. Did exactly what he needed to do. It wasn't spectacular, but it was solid, and that's what they wanted. We'll talk Burgess very quickly. I think he showed why he's in. He can win a game with an offload or a massive tackle. That tackle was just huge again, but he's prone to a mistake, and that's going to be the way, isn't it? As long as you've got Barrett to start, I think it's fine. If you get an injury to Barrett, then you're struggling a bit for reliability. But Burgess was exciting, really exciting. Adds a little bit of fear to the enemy, to the opposition. Ford was a lot better. Youngs was really good, so that's looking like a nice solid starting. Halfbacks, and Farrell kicked fantastically, and that's what he does. I think he's a slightly better kicker than Ford, and he's got more distance as well. So if you want someone to kick a game to death with penalties, etc., then he's your man, isn't he? But on the whole, it's looking on the up for England, and unfortunately a big blow for Wales. So the next video you will see will be after the first World Cup game in a couple of weeks. If you want to get those videos straight away, click on that subscribe button, comment below as well, and well, things are rolling on, so World Cup, here we come.